Good morning, dear students. Let's continue with Standard 8, Chapter 4 of History, Tribals, Dikus, and the Vision of a Golden Age. So, children, today's topic is forest, laws, and their impact. So, we have seen that these Britishers were the outsiders in the forest area, in the tribal area, children. So the British gained control over all the forest and declared them as state property. State property means their property, Britishers' property, and that is government's property they have declared. They also formed some rules and regulations. So some forests were declared as reserve forest as the timber was needed by the Britishers. No one was allowed to move freely in such forest, children. Fruit collections, animal hunting, and jhum cultivation was banned. So this tribal used to do all this occupation was their main occupation, okay, hunting and collecting and cultivating. So this all thing was banned. This made the life of tribals miserable. So they had to move to another places in search of work. But was that beneficial for Britishers? We will see that. Well, they also faced the problem of non-availability of laborers for their own work in this forest, such as cutting of trees, transporting logs, etc. So this work were done by the tribal people as laborers, and now when they have gone from the forest, now it was difficult for the Britishers to get the laborers, cheap laborers. So they came up with an idea of providing jhum cultivation with small patches of land in the forest, with the condition of providing laborers during their hour of need. So with this condition they gave this cultivators, okay, a place to do farming, to cultivate, okay children. A place was given for them, and in return they have to provide the labor whenever they need. They should work for them. These tribal should work for them. So in many regions, forest department establish forest villages for regular supply of cheap laborers. So in the forest area, they made a small villages for these people so that they could get easy and cheap labor. But some of these tribes were not happy with this restriction, children, and so they started disobeying. So they were not happy with this situation, and they started disobeying rules, which sometimes result into revolts. So this tribe, they revolted against the Britishers, and Sangram revolt of Assam in 1906 is one such example. Okay, so then this tribe started revolting against the Britishers. So not only this, there were some other problems too, children. So in the next topic we will see the problem with trade. So what were the problem? During the 19th century, children, many moneylenders and traders start dealing with the forestmen by buying forest produce and sometimes by providing them with loans. So who were these forestmen? Obviously forestmen were the tribal people. So these tribal people were providing this money lenders, okay, they were and these traders, they were giving them the forest products, and these money lenders were giving this tribal the loan. This took some time for these tribals to understand how they got trapped in vicious, that is dangerous cycle of never ending loan, and they were caught in never ending loan, children. For instance, Hazaribagh, a place in Jharkhand where Santhals were asked to rear cocoons for the European trade in Indian silk was in high demand in the world for its super fine quality. So they were asked, this Santhals, these were the tribes, children, and they were asked to rear this cocoon because Indian silk was in a high demand over the Europe, all over the Europe. So this European traders, they forced this Santhals, these tribes, to rear and produce this silk, Indian silk. The agent used to pay them rupees 3 or 5 for 1,000 cocoons, which was sold for 5 times the price at Gaya and Bardhaman. So these were the places where these traders used to sell those cocoon in 5 times the rate. Okay, and they used to only get, these tribal people used to get only 3 or 5 rupees for 1,000 cocoons, children. The tribals were earning less and this middleman were making huge profits. Such were the reason which made tribal believe that traders were their enemies. And then the next topic is the search of work. So now, children, the plight of the tribals, that is the hardship, the misery of the tribals who had to leave their homes in search of work was very worse, because they were leaving their home and they were going outside. So that hardship was making their situation worse, children. They had to work either in tea gardens or mines. So they had this option, and the work at mines was very difficult, as sometimes they proved hazardous, because it is dangerous, children. Hazardous means dangerous, life threatening, because of low level of oxygen there in the mines. So moreover, the contractors used to pay them very less and didn't allow them to return home. So these were the reasons. Okay, they were facing hardship, difficulty time in the mines, children. So now we come to the last paragraph, that is a closure look. So through the 19th and 20th century, children, many tribes which were against the taxes, rules and exploitation of Britishers and traders rose against them and enter into movement against them at various places. Okay, these tribes were they were exploited by these Britishers and traders, so they rose against them, and these were in various places, like such as Coles in 1831 till 32, and Santhals 1855, Bastar in 1910, and Worli in 1940. So this is how we come to the end of the chapter, and next 2 page, children, that will not come in exam, so you have to cut this page with the pencil. So that is page number 48, and page number, next page you will also cut that is page number 49. You will cut with pencil, and we have completed this chapter, children.